Hey, howdy, hey, everybody. My name is Sasha, and it's time for me to absolutely obsess on the internet over the things I've been obsessing about in my personal life, which are the Bridgerton stills, all the photos, because we are all, I'm sure, simply eating up absolutely anything that Netflix or Shondaland would give us. The first thing we have is the two posters, and I love both of them because both of them tie in the mirror element, because if you've read Romancing Mr. Bridgerton, it's a you know thing. The mirror motif in both of them, the mirror for Penelope symbolizes like who she is internally and how the world sees her, as well as the whole Lady Whistledown dynamic. Who is Lady Whistledown? Lady Whistledown is Penelope, but who is the Penelope inside versus the Penelope she portrays the outside world? So I love that the first one is focusing on Penelope because she deserves her moment to shine. But then we also have the new Bridgerton poster, which is of course the tie-in for the novel cover. I really truly am obsessed with this. I saw this the day the trailer came out. There's something about this that is so satisfying. Also unintentionally on brand. Okay, with the yellow, with the gold mirror, with the blue. I'm sorry, nobody's trying as hard as me. I just love the glow on her. I love him looking at her. It's just so good. It's just so good. I feel like the blue is not only really good because, of course, Penelope, like a big part of her story is that her mom has always dressed her in really ugly colors and unfashionable things. And now that she's kind of grown into her own woman, she's deciding what to wear and she's getting her own stuff in the modiste. And so I love the blue for that reason, but I also love it because it makes Nicola Coughlin's eyes absolutely glow and gleam. The costumes, as we all know, are super important in Bridgerton. And to me, blue has always been kind of the signature Bridgerton color, that and like a really like lilac-y violet, like pale periwinkle color. Blue is definitely that, and I think for Penelope, it's symbolizing her like becoming a part of the family, being the main focus, making her blend more with that family than with her own family. Love it. I love it. A lot of the stills, some of them I haven't really seen, like this first one of them at a ball, it looks like they're like chit-chatting, kind of the way they have in every other season, but obviously with their new leading couple looks, and they just look both so stunning. I'm obsessed. I love seeing the two of them together, and I'm just so okay. I don't need to talk about how excited I am. We all know how excited I am. Of course, I'm obsessed with the Kate and Anthony one. The kanthony photo, yeah, I love it. I'm really excited to see what they do with Kate's costume this season, because her jewel tones in the last season were so connected to her heritage and what she was struggling with being a part of English society, and not necessarily being even though she was the love interest, she wasn't the one being presented to society as a eligible lady. And now she's a viscountess. But I'm just really excited to see how they kind of mesh the Bridgerton colors with the jewel tones, like on her jacket here that has this like beautiful bright orange color. I'm also so excited to see what they do with her hair, because obviously the style of a lot of Bridgerton is having their hair up, but it's a big deal in like the books, and I think they did this in the show. I haven't rewatched season 2 yet. I'm going to, so stay on the lookout for that. But Anthony makes this really big deal about he hates when she wears her hair up because he just loves her hair and it smells like lilies, which was a missed opportunity with these candles, by the way. I love the Diamond of the Season one, but Bath & Body Works, baby girl, Bath & Body Works, if you had just called me up, we would be making millions together. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm interested to see the dynamic between them, also because I love Kanthony. You will never hear me shut up about Kanthony. I simply never will. Okay. I am also really interested in kind of Francesca's costume, the jacket that she's wearing, because it's referenced in like earlier seasons that Francesca has kind of been away like studying. I think she goes to Spain, and so I want to see how her like fashions and potentially her like society fashions of London are incorporated with these elements from abroad. While her look is very clearly inspired by a lot of Daphne's looks from season 1, it seems like she's very almost elevated to be someone who has left London, to looks like they've experienced more of the world or of life than perhaps Daphne has in the first season. And I don't know too much about Francesca's story or her book or who she ends up with, but I would be curious to know from people who have, so let me know in the comments, if the way that they're going to portray her, it looks through these stills, is in line with maybe like story elements that they're hinting at. Okay, so this still got me very curious because it's of Penelope, although in a more glam makeup look, still in one of the kind of featherington new fashion yellow dresses. And what I'm curious about is, when does she get the new dresses? Because in the trailer, there's that shot where she takes off the cloak and she's in that beautiful emerald gown. I feel like that's like a mid-season type of thing, but I'm not like, is that her first, like, oh, Penelope dressed up, she looks good? Because there's gonna be something in the first episode that specifically talks about like her going to the modiste and using potentially her Lady Whistledown money to get a new look. Now, from what I can tell, Lord Dabbling is supposed to be a suitor because instead of the show follow the exact plot of the book where Colin just kind of realizes he loves Penelope, we need more angst, okay? We need a little bit more angst. So what we're doing is we're introducing Lord Dabbling as a suitor for Penelope. He's really serious about getting married. Penelope doesn't want to be at home anymore. She's still in love with Colin, but she's also like, I need to get over you because you said that you would never court me. And also I'm just kind of pissed at your whole family right now because of Eloise. And so I like a lot her costuming here. She's in such contrast to like her mother. I still think this dress is beautiful, so don't get me wrong, but there's something almost like plasticky and not as flowy and regal, should we say, to this dress as there is to the dress that she's obviously wearing in like the cover or some of the other dresses that she's wearing at times that I think are later in the season. But I think there's something about this that ties in with kind of the featherington style but isn't quite the Bridgerton style, because again, these costumes tell so much of the story that I feel like this is like a transition. Like, okay, she's not in the yellow dresses anymore, she's not in the ugly featherington dresses, no offense Portia, but you got bad taste and I gotta call you out. But she's not quite to the floral applique organza level dresses. Does that make sense? Sorry, I don't know why I'm saying that makes sense. Like this one, different vibe. You can't tell me that you don't see the difference. Also, I love somebody pointing this out, so I can't claim this for myself, but the way that they have changed her neckline on these newer dresses makes her look like a woman and not just like the 16-year-old girl. Because I'm absolutely shook. I know that the first season came out in like 2020, so it hasn't been that long, and they probably filmed it like prior to that. But like Nicola Coughlan was still in her 30s filming the first season, and I would have believed that she was like maybe 17 to 20 years old. This woman is ageless. Drop the skincare routine, Nicola. We need it. Even this one, okay, which I do really like. It's got the bow on it, it's got some floral design, but it's still more stiff. And I feel like, if I had to guess, these were to represent times when Penelope isn't like 100% accepting herself or the combination intersection between her and Lady Whistledown. Like I feel like there's something there, but maybe I'm reading too far into it. The boys, also Colin's skin. Can we talk about that? I know he's probably got some makeup on because they're actors and they need to look good, but I just feel like it's glowing, and also his eyes this season are popping. Also Benedict got a haircut and he looks good. He does. You won't catch me saying otherwise. Will Mondrick. I love the stills of him and his wife. Also, I think this is like a nightgown, but she looks so pretty. I'm so excited to see them in some pretty costumes now that they're officially a part of the Ton. I'm just so excited to kind of see how their storyline goes, because going back to season 1, their struggle with being friends with such wealthy people but not necessarily having that wealth themselves, and how they balance like their honor and what they're willing to do to make that money with the kind of the circumstances of their situation and having a family. I'm really excited to kind of see them move up in the world, as who would not be? Also, this is what I'm talking about, like this flowy sheer fabric that Penelope has. Ooh, it's good. And Francesca's dress, this is beautiful. Again, it is a little bit stiffer of a fabric, but it still has the floral appliques to soften it. I love. I think it's really interesting what they're doing with Penelope's gloves, which might be something that's a little bit like, who cares? But in the poster, the first poster where she's holding the mirror, you can see some like light, very sheer like tulle gloves, fingerless gloves. Here, we've got black gloves, but they're completely see-through and they're glittering. And Francesca's, yes, are kind of the same, but I feel like the thing here is maybe more modern fashion, but more specifically, I think it has to do with something of like the fact that Penelope specifically is like a spinster, or the fact that Penelope is like an older girl to get married, or like she's been through a couple seasons, so she's almost like allowed to like adjust to new fashions or do new things. Like maybe I'm reading too far into this, but I feel like I've noticed that the gloves are different. I want to do an entire video on how important hands are, not only to period pieces, but Bridgerton and the female gaze specifically, because I know that this is an exact scene from the book because I ate it up. Okay, I love this scene. Him cutting his hand of all things. It's from like a paper cut, so it's not like he's not gonna have cut like his shoulder or something. The hands are important. Also, this scarf look, I love. See, this to me, she's moving on from Lord Dabbling look because it's bluer. it's more Bridgerton. So I feel like this is further on rather than earlier in the story. I'm also interested to see if these bows are like a continued motif throughout, because I've noticed she has quite a bit. Like these kids, stop. They're so cute. Their hats, her 2 little bows, and her little pigtails. I'm obsessed. You need to stop saying I'm obsessed. Also, I know this is not a great still of it, and I saw a lot of these when they were in production and like the paparazzi were getting photos of this, but I just feel like this look of Kate's, which I believe is at Francesca's presentation, is gonna ruin me because she looks like a goddess. Thanks guys for coming along. I wanted to just look at these stills and kind of pour over them because, to be honest, I haven't taken a lot of time to do that. I am sorry for the shadow. I'm sure it was annoying to some of you. I apologize. I hope you saw past it. If you didn't, come back for another one where I won't be wearing a hat because I'll have put dry shampoo in my hair. Okay, if you enjoyed this video, I'm doing a ton of Bridgerton content in the next 30 days leading up to the Bridgerton season 3 release, so you're gonna want to subscribe, but I'd appreciate if you don't feel like subscribing, if you just would like this video, or comment kind of which still is your favorite or the one you're pouring over the most. Thank you guys so much for watching. I had so much fun looking at these with you, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye y'all.